What up, Wastelanders? Christopher here, Gaslands, NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another conversion video. Now, a few weeks ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago or so, an individual reached out to me wanting me to do a custom build of a Cadillac with a Maxxine motif. So I found this 1935 Cadillac coupe. I think it's a 355, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. So that's what we're going to be using this time. They were looking for a kind of a pearly white with some blue accents and a kind of a Swan Lake ballerina vibe. So that's what we're going to do. But first things first, you know what we got to do. Get this baby apart, get her into the strip. Alright, so we're all primed up and everything. Normal, you know, gray sear primer and stuff. Love how smooth that goes on and everything. Wanting to do, like I said, a pearlescent white with some light blue accents. Now I have a bunch of the Turbo Dork, which gives that pearlescent stuff. I don't use it a lot on my cars just because you have to really kind of shift it to make that color come out. If you know, sometimes it doesn't come out right and everything, but this one I'm specifically going to do my best to get that to go on there correctly. I want to do some light blue accents, so for the rag top or hard top portion of it, I'm going to be using some ghostly blue. Probably use some ghostly blue on the rims and everything else just to give it that light blue accent. Now, I always have issues trying to do white through a spray primer. I don't know what it is, why I have problems, probably just me, whatever. I recently got some of this Mecha Color white primer that I'm going to attempt to use one more time. Hopefully it's not going to screw up my airbrush enough to sit here for, you know, several days cleaning it out, but yeah, we're going to give that a shot. So let's try the Mecha Color white primer on here and we'll see how it goes. So wish me luck. Alright, well that went better than I expected. Got the white primer down, looking very cool, looking very sleek and smooth and everything. So now I'm really going to press my luck, and I've mixed some of the Turbo Dork, why I'm having a problem saying that, with some thinner. Hopefully I got the right consistency, so I'm going to try to run that through my airbrush and see if I can screw things up. Just like I said, going to be doing along the base and everything else, going to be leaving the top to do the light blue. So yeah, let's see if we can get this right and not screw things up too much and have to restrip everything. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so one of the things with the pearlescent white is you can't, like I said, with pretty much with all the Turbo Dork stuff, is you can't really see it unless you're like tilting it at just the right angle and the right light and everything, but it is very pearlescent. I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera. You can see it in real life though. It does look pretty cool. I like the pearlescent stuff that's going on. Next we're going to get the top going in light blue. Got some ghostly blue that I'm going to put on there. And then I'll probably go through and do some gnome oil, not Agrax, because I don't want it to be that kind of grimy. I just want the little cracks and nooks and everything to come out before we start getting it back together. Got some decals that I'm going to be using coming from Rust Belt Customs. Always does a great job. Got a mini I'm going to put in there. I'm going to have to probably take out this steering wheel and steering column and stuff so I can get the mini in there so it'll sit right and everything. So we'll get that all painted up and get everything together, and then we'll see where we're at and see if we want to do any kind of rust or chipping or anything else. But yeah, coming along just fine. I think it's going to look very cool once everything's together. So let's get it going. Alright, so we've got everything all ready to go. Got the tires and everything that's going to be fitting on there like perfectly, front and back. Some weapons that are going to be going on there, mounted on the front like so. And then a couple of these spiked bits coming from Fallout Hobbies. I'm going to be making just for a little ram on the front. Sarah's all ready to go. Sarah, Sally, Susie, whatever you want to call her, ready to sit on in the front. Got to get her kind of shifted in there just right. May have to trim up her legs a little bit to get her to fit, but we can make it happen. But yeah, first off, we're going to do just a little bit of chipping. Not really a whole lot of rusting, really, but just, you know, a little bit of chipping around the edges, because Maxxine, you know, likes to keep it clean and sharp and everything, keep her girls looking good. So let's do some chipping, and then we'll get everything all together, do a little bit of dusting, and then we'll see where we're at. But I think we're getting close to the finish line and ready to go. So let's get things together and chip it up. Alright, so we got everything back together, looking very cool. Like I said, not doing a lot of chipping or any rust or anything on it. I'm going to keep Maxxine nice and clean and sleek and everything. Final step we're going to do, a little bit of dusting on the tires and stuff to make it just look a little weathered, a little worn, like it's been hitting the road and stuff. Do the headlights and the taillights and stuff, the fine detail, and then this thing will be good to go. We'll do some glamour shots and call it good. So let's get those going on, and we'll see what it looks like when we're done. So let's do her. Alright, and there we have it. One 1935 Cadillac, all tricked out and prettied up and made ready for the Wastelands. Really had a good time doing this. I love doing the older vehicles and stuff like that. Loving using these decals from Rust Belt Customs. He does an awesome job. I love all of his sponsor logos and everything else. Just fantastic. Maxxine as a sponsor itself, it can be kind of challenging to play with tuning and pursuit as their perks. It's really more of you have to know and really be able to play your templates, play like 3 or 4 moves ahead, not so much the shoot 'em up bang bang like Rutherford, or the really intricate fast moving like Michigan or Miyazaki or something like that. So Maxxine is a challenge, but it is a lot of fun to play and have some pretty awesome looking cars. If you enjoyed this video, you learned something, do me a favor and hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether vehicle builds, terrain builds, battle reports, whatever. So if that's for you, hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page, so if you want to see what else I've done, pick something up, you can even request a custom build. If you'd really like to show some love, head on over to my Patreon page and get signed up. Every bit helps keep the paint flowing, the printer printing, and the camera rolling. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands and NorCal, signing out.